Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. There's another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we're going to be talking about the fusion that just came in. It's a huge fusion thing, and I'm going to tell you guys whether I think you should spend the time to do it or not. I think the first thing we have to establish is any fusion takes a ton of resources. Not only do you have to acquire all the champions, but you have to level them up, you have to ascend them, and rank them up at least once, and then at that point you can fuse them into the next stage. It's very difficult to do, especially if you're a free-to-play player or early level player. They're not always going to be worth doing. Now, this one is a little bit, I don't know how else to put this. We've had a ton of fusions, guys. I don't know that this one's worth it for you. I'll be honest. I always say, if you have the opportunity, if you have the ability, get the legendary, because they're hard to get. In this one, I think it might be one that is worth skipping. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why I feel that way. I still kind of hold true and say that if you can do it, do it. It's not a bad way to go. You are going to like this fusion champion. It's Hurndig. He's definitely worth getting, but I don't know that you really need to or will want to whale out to do it. And so I'll explain exactly why I feel that way. A couple things I want to point out real quick. One, big shout out to my Patreons. Can't do this without you guys and your support. Really appreciate that. Also want to let you guys know I do have a game on video down below. Just me going over lightly some of the champions that are involved in this fusion, and just giving you my impressions on them. I'll have another video at another point talking about the other champions that have been included in this patch, because some of them are pretty bonkers good. But I think the first thing we should do is we should look at the fusion itself and figure out how hard or easy this one's going to be to do. So talking about the fusion, this is Hurndig. These are the champions that we're going to need. Now, we're doing the same thing again where we need the same champion 4 times. It's actually, I think, a great way to do it, because if you don't want to do the full fusion, then you can really cherry pick who you want to get. There's certain events that you're just not going to be able to compete in. It's fine. You can still, cherry pick which champions you're going to want to get the different epics, and I think that's really good. And these epics are solid. You've got Hurndig here, who is a really good, he's a reviver for skinwalkers. He's, I think, the only reviver for skinwalkers. You're going to want him on your account. You've got Skyathix here, who is I think, going to be a really good champion to have. Steals buffs, block debuff and shield, solid passes so he doesn't die, not to mention decreased speed on his A1. He's going to be really good. I think he's going to be really helpful in a lot of dungeon work. Plus he looks cool. Look, he's got a bag full of fish. Excellent. So he's somebody you're going to want to be able to get. I think Gory looks kind of interesting. Haven't really figured out where he's going to be best at. Does a lot of frost and frost resist. I think he's going to be a solid arena champion. And he gets weird counterattacks all the time, so he's an interesting one for sure, especially against Torment style teams. You've got Siege Hulk here, who's it's the Hulk. Who doesn't want the Hulk on their team? Not a great champion, I don't think, but it's the Hulk, like I said. So there's some benefits there. And the rares are interesting too. There's a couple in there that are definitely intriguing. The best part about this fusion is that you do have the opportunity to get a couple of the extra champions, specifically the ones we want to get, Skyathix and Hurndig. And so you can get both of them individually from the Summon Rush and the Champion Training event. So if you can compete in those to a high degree, that's great, because you'll be able to acquire both of those champions independently. So even if you do the fusion, you can still get them on your account. And I think that's excellent. But if not, that's okay. You can still, obviously fuse all the other champions that you want by going through it. The issue, of course, is that fusions just take so many resources. So many resources. And I really like Hurndig. I think Hurndig is actually really, really good. He's got a pretty cool little kit here. He's got this A3, which is his strongest ability, right? Fully depletes the target's turn meter. And then once you ascend him, not only that, but he'll give an AoE attack after the first attack if it's a critical, with a chance to place weaken and HP burn if their turn meters are really low. So quality champion, quality skill there. The usage of this second ability is a little bit more limited. He's not going to go, unless you can fully deplete the enemy's turn meter right off the bat, probably this isn't going to land. And this is, I think, going to be more useful against bosses and things that are, susceptible to turn meter reduction. And that's the thing too. This turn meter reduction, the way this hits, it's going to hit that first champion twice. That means in arena, he's going to smack super hard. Basically, he hits like fully. His multipliers are super good. He's going to hit like fully with that skill, killing one enemy and hitting everybody else super hard, possibly killing them as well. So there's a lot to like on that. His A2, another AoE with, again, good multipliers on it. Decreased defense and decreased accuracy lands with that. Very nice skill. His A1, if it kills somebody, it does some cool stuff, but it's got some solid multipliers on it too, but I don't think that's really worth discussing, honestly. His passive ability is nice. He gets turn meter fill every time they're hit, once per hit. That's always a nice thing, especially against multi-hit enemies. And will fill his turn meter whenever an ally dies as well. So he's got some good passive abilities to get his turn meter rolling pretty fast. The thing is that he's another attack champion, and we have a ton of them in this game, like a ton of them in this game. Now, I'm going to recommend that you fuse. Obviously, if you have the opportunity, do it. I think actually better than a lot of the champions we've seen before. He can do some real work. But there's a couple things with this kit, right? He's a lot like Astralon, where you have all these debuffs you want to be able to land, but that means you have to build accuracy. And if you build accuracy, you can't build the damage. And if you can't build the damage, then he's not near your nuke champion. And it becomes very difficult to be able to use him in arena or in dungeons as a result. So like if you're going to build him for dungeons, you're building him with accuracy. If you're building him for arena, you're building him with attack. And it's hard to get a good blend of the two. Now, it's possible always, but you're always going to be sacrificing one thing or another. So what I actually want to do right now is I want to show you guys the champion Hurndig, and I want to do a little comparison here. He's one of the hardest hitting champions in this game. He's kind of like a Foley, basically. As far as his skills go, the damage that he can do, he's very, very effective. So he's going to be great in arena as just a nuke champion. If you don't have one, this is absolutely a champion you're going to want to get. The thing is, there's a lot of AoE hard-hitting champions in this game already. He's not going to be game-changing for a lot of accounts. For some of you, absolutely. But I don't know anyone out there that's like, oh, fully account-changing champion. I just don't see that, and I don't think they're going to have that here with Hurndig. Now, he has a lot more utility than Foley by being able to do a couple different things with his kit, so that definitely gives him more utility for you as players, but I think one of the things we should do is let's compare his damage to, say, like a Trunda. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to show my Trunda in Dragon and in Arena, and then I'm going to put that exact same gear on Hurndig, and we'll see exactly how he does in comparison. So you get kind of an idea of how much damage this feller can do. All right, so we're just going to run Dragon 20. I have Battle to keep us alive and just give a little bit more damage. We've got Lydia to give us that decreased defense and weaken, and Uros is there just to protect us. And then hopefully here we'll be able to see what Trunda can do damage-wise. So let's just go in, keeping it on 1 times speed. Get the decreased defense and weaken out there. Boom. We're going to get the poisons. Oh, and Trunda's fast enough so she just goes right away. That's perfect for us. We can use our big hit skill. We'll get an idea of how much damage we're doing. 50, 60k. We got a bunch of stuns out there. But basically, we're talking about 40 to 60,000 damage with her kit. It's pretty reasonable, I would say. I think that seems pretty on point for her. Let's just try and get through this if we can. We'll speed this up here now. Don't care. Yep, kill that. And then we can see her A2 here, which is a big hitting skill. Boom, 100,000+ damage. Really good. Definitely got the bonus from Bad L in that one there. So you kind of have an idea of like how she works. Now let's go ahead and try this with Hurndig here instead. And I'm going to make the whole gear swap thing. There we go. Let's try it out, see how this works out. All right, 1 time speed again. Let's see. Boom, decrease defense and weaken. So we're going to use his big hit here. Now attacks one enemy, fully depletes their turn meter, and then we'll attack all enemies if the first hit's a critical hit. So we want to make sure we don't have anybody that's the wrong affinity. Other than that, this should work out just fine. And here we go. Let's go ahead and take Apothecary. That's the first hit, 100k. Second hit, somewhere between 50 and 70k, depending on Helm Smasher procs. It's pretty good. It's very much like Foley, where he can take down one enemy almost guaranteed, and then we'll do an AoE hit that usually either takes down the rest of the team or comes darn close. So pretty solid, I would say. All right, and now we have the other hit. This is AoE, second hit. This is an AoE hit. It will do decreased defense, decreased accuracy. He does have great multipliers all across the board, so you can see this. Boom. I love the shot there, but you're talking 60, 70K. Definitely a big hit. So definitely good. Now, obviously not as good as Trunda. No one's saying he is, but very much on par with a champion like Foley. Really, really good champion, guys. Definitely somebody you want to keep in mind if you're going to be using. Now, we can get this decreased defense and weaken. We can start seeing his A1 here a little bit too, right? Extra turn if it kills somebody. So let's go A1. Boom. Big uppercut hit, 70K damage. There's nothing to scoff at. So this is my Trunda. This is how I have her built. You can see here her stats: 243 speed, 100% crit rate, 262 crit damage, 6,200 attack. This is really the stats that we want to pay attention to there. As far as masteries go, I do have her in. I have her in Helm Smasher. Oh my gosh, underneath my shoulder. So that definitely throws it off a little bit, but it's pretty much attack support kind of build. So let's go ahead and do Hurndig here. Okay, and this is Hurndig. I literally put the same gear I had on Trunda on him. Exactly the same. You can see his attack is going to be lower. He has a lower base attack by about 200 points, so that's the reason for that. It's affected by all the percentages, but crit rate, crit damage, all the same. I have him in Helm Smashers too. It's about the same speed. And you can see the masteries are almost identical, just slightly different, but coming down to Helm Smasher, not too bad. The most difference is here on the support tree as we came down a little bit different way, as he does have stuff he can put debuffs with, so I wanted to go ahead and switch that. That's pretty much it. So he's almost exactly the same. So we're going to go up against this team here. We'll definitely be faster, so we should get a good idea, see how Trunda can do with a team like this. So we get the speed up from Siffy, get the speed up from Arbiter, go ahead and crack those debuffs with Madame Saris, and then Trunda comes in to nuke them down. I'll drop it to 1x speed so you can see the damage. Boom, boom. Look at that. 70, 80K. She hits hard. So we're talking like 70 to 80,000 damage with each strike. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So here we go. Got Trunda there. We're going to take Trunda out. We're going to bring in Hurndig, and we'll see how this goes. All right. Do all the skills, do all the things. Yeah. Decrease defense and weaken. Yeah. Perfect. And now he's going to come in. We'll do this big hit first right here. We do want to make sure let's go ahead and take out Brogni. Big hit 1 and 2. We took down, God, what's her name? Molly as well. It's a big hit. Like, this is really good skills. It's very effective. And, you know, we even get that second attack out of him, which is also really effective. He's a good champion, guys. Very good champion. Let's see if we can't get that to drop here in a second. Boom. All right, here's his A2. Let's see how this goes. No decreased defense or weakened. 60K on Mountain King. That's always nice. That's a weak affinity champion. Still got 20K on good old Torment here without decreased defense or weaken up. I mean, the guy's excellent. He's an excellent champion. He's going to hit really hard. I think this might be somebody that you want to get if you can. I think he's great. I think he's fabulous. Just for my money, I don't know that if I wasn't doing content creation, this might be one I'd skip. In spite of the fact this guy's going to hit super duper hard. So you have to weigh your account and what you're willing to do, but you know, it's so hard to do it all. And if you're at that point where you're like, do I do it all this time? This might be the one that you leave. So I just want to give that information out to you guys before you get too invested into it. Understand how this is going to work, right? It does take a ton of resources. You have to send all those champions. You have to level all those champions. You even have to rank every champion before you can even get to Hurndig. But if you have the resources to do it, I think you're going to be happy with the result. He is a very good champion. Like I said, I do have that game on video down below, so check that out. And I'm going to give another big shout out to my Patreons that are somewhere over on this side up above. You can see the name scrolling there. But otherwise, guys, it's a pleasure as always. Hopefully this fusion will go well for you guys. And yeah, till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.